Finally, of course, this is our DIY strip softbox solution. So I have that 80 centimeter softbox, and you can see I've just used 4 clamps, cut out a chart paper like this, and just basically fixed it on the ends. Okay, and so we just get this narrow strip which is exposed. Okay, and later on, as you're going to see, how narrow you want to make it is completely up to you. The more narrow you make this, the narrower the beam of light will be, and the lesser the food item will be illuminated, the lesser parts of the food item. So you can make it more and more dramatic by making this narrow. So now that you know all the things that we will be using in level 7, let's go ahead, let's show you the setup, and let's take the shot. All right, so this time these are the changes. Let's look at the setup first. You can see here, a lot of props have been changed. I've added this wooden chopping board here. This time put some leaves, less beans as compared to last time, some coffee powder here, 2 pies there, and changed the surface paper, so made it slightly darker. And you can see here the blue coffee mug, which is matte finish, so there is no reflection, so it's already looking good. Don't even need the background behind. That's because if you see our, softbox that we kind of modified and turned it into a strip softbox, you can see that this is really throwing a very directional light, and right at this point it literally starts to cut down light so much that we don't even need a black background. But in case you're facing that issue, you can always just put a black background here, just like we've been doing before. Okay, but I did not need that. So this was, the light itself was absolutely pinpoint and perfect. Also, one more change here that I want to show you is that we're shooting slightly from a top to down angle here. So you can see slightly this time the height is more, so we're going to see more of this top surface. So anyway, the background won't be seen. It's going to be completely in darkness. So this is going to result in a really moody shot. Let's go inside our camera and let's take it. All right, welcome to the shot. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is if you look at on the left side here, I've deliberately not added a reflector here, okay? That's because I want this shot to slightly have more amount of shadows. Now, when I say more amount of shadows, do not confuse that with hard light, okay? We still have very soft light because you can see that the shadows, yes, they might be more. You can see here, the left of the cup is really in a lot of shadows, right? So the shadows might be more, the amount of shadows, because we are going for the dark and moody, dramatic looking shot, okay? But they are still soft shadows and highlights, and that's thanks to using a bigger source of light, okay? If I was to use the barn door or the snoot like we talked before, it's not just the amount of shadows that would have been more, it's just the quality of light would have also been harsh. Right now, the amount of shadows is more, but the quality of light is still soft. So these are two different things, okay? Quality of light is different from quantity of light. It's still soft light, just deliberately with more shadows to just give it that mysterious look. So I hope that point is clear. Apart from that, here, all now I have to do is, I am at ISO 100, I'm at f1.8, that is perfect. Just have to see my shutter speed, which one do I feel is correct. Now here again, these are those type of shots where you cannot really go by the light meter, okay? You really just have to go with your own eye. That's the best, okay? However, it is going to be important to note where the light meter is, and what is the reason for that? I'm just going to be coming to that in some moments from now, okay? But for this particular shot, just go completely with your eye, okay? And of course, since you can see I'm shooting in RAW here, so it's not going to be such a big issue if I don't get it absolutely 100% correct, okay? So let me just see. This looks good at 1/50th of a second, and this time I will make sure that I do take this shot with the remote, okay? So at least finally should be able to do it properly. So I've already set the focus. And actually I used manual focus this time, and I already set the focus so that the coffee in this mug was really, really sharp. And the best part you can see here is this time you don't have to deal with any of those bad looking reflections. All I have to do is now I've got the remote here and I just have to take the shot. So I'm just going to do that right now. And I'm just going to check if it looks good, at least on the camera itself. Okay, this looks pretty good. I think the lighting looks really, really nice and dramatic. Sometimes what you can do is, if you're not very sure, you don't trust your eye too much, let's say I feel maybe it could have been brighter, I don't know, I'll check it out later. First of all, we can always edit, right? It's not such a problem, but I still want to give you this bonus tip. Take just 2-3 shots, maybe like take one at slightly even brighter, like maybe 1/40. okay, which will be brighter. So just take multiple shots at different shutter speeds. Maybe I felt, no, this was too bright and even the last shot was too bright. No issues. I can take one shot at 1/60. Okay, so we kind of got three different shots at just very slightly different exposures, so that at least later on, we can see which one looks the best. So right now, let's just shift down to the middle one. Now this shot is looking good, right? There's no doubt about it. But to go to the next level, we are going to go to the next level right now, because what we're going to do in this shot is one of the elements that we talked a long back when we started this course, which we still haven't implemented. You can pause this video and to think which element that was. Okay, the element that I'm talking about is action. That is something all our shots up till now have been missing, because I was waiting for this moment, because to go to the next level, everything's going to remain the same. Okay, we're getting a beautiful lighting, everything's going to remain the same. It's just that we are going to pour some milk inside this coffee. Okay, and we're going to capture that using a faster shutter speed. That's going to be our next level right here. There's going to be one very important thing to remember about that, but I'm going to explain that to you in the next video. Because first of all, we are going to see how this shot looks. Alright, so this is the shot that we have got straight out of the camera, and doesn't this look absolutely beautiful with that whole dramatic, dark, moody look to it. You can see the light is cut down so much, even though we did not have a surface here. This is absolutely black and the light is absolutely restricted here. Like I mentioned before, if you want a more narrow illumination, just increase the amount of chart paper and decrease the amount of exposed area in that strip. That's the only thing you need to do here. I kind of like this because I feel even the other things need to be illuminated, okay? Because if it's just the cup illuminated, probably maybe just overly dramatic, okay? So I really like the look of this shot. Now, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to just do some very basic adjustments in Snapseed. But finally, the important part, the manipulative part, which I've not told you till now, will come inside Photoshop. So let's start.